Hey, I'm Kristie, Andrew Vorman from Stuff in New Zealand. What do you remember about being here in 2008 for the FIFA?
That's me, right?
Yeah.
I was not here in 2008. Yes, that was me. That was the U17 World Cup. Where we were training last time in January was where we played,
North
right?
Harbor, yeah.
Yeah. It's so good being back here, honestly. Like, I had the best time when I was 17 here for the World Cup, and it's pretty cool. We trained at the same field in January, and it kind of like brought back all these memories and stuff. But it was super special being here, and it's cool to kind of come to a familiar place. So, I mean, we're just like so excited. We're having the best time. And Auckland's beautiful and amazing. So we're very happy to be back.
Reminder, we did get to the final of that tournament. I think Kristie won the silver ball or the bronze ball. Second or third best player in tournament. I
We
forget.
can say
Anyway,
the silver one if you
yeah.
want.
She had a good tournament. We lost in overtime. That's still a crusher. Next question. JT.
Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Alyssa, there is this conversation out there that there's sort of an old guard and a new guard on this team. How do you see it? How does it reflect in your sort of interactions with the other players, you being one of the relative veterans of the group?
I don't think that we necessarily see it like that. I think we see ourselves as the, 23 players that make up the 23, year 23 roster. And I think obviously there's different ages, different players who have been here for 15 years, some players that have been here for, less than 1 year. And I think for us, it's just getting that right balance and right connection of using those of us who have, a lot of experience, have been through this before, and trying to help guide and encourage some of the new ones. And also then taking some of the, the freshness, the newness, the young ones, and combining that into create the culture and the team that we have right now.
Goffer.
Steve Goff, The Washington Post. What were from your experiences 4 years ago in that role, what do you take from that into this World Cup?
I think just taking everything one game at a time was the biggest thing that I learned and remember from 2019 is our focus staying, it's a 7-game tournament, and there's going to be a lot of things that come up along the way, and keeping our focus, one training session at a time, one game at a time, and have that preparation be our mindset. That's what's going to help us kind of stay the course.
Right on the end. Go ahead.
At the last World Cup, I remember a lot of players chose to not be on social media. I think you said you put your phone in airplane mode or something like that. What are each of you doing, and what is the team doing? Is everyone doing their own thing, or have you, as a group, sort of decided this is how we're going to approach social media during this tournament?
I actually turned my phone on this time, so I've gotten away from airplane mode, but still don't have a lot of the social media stuff. I'll stay off a lot of that. I'll keep maybe a little bit of the Instagram stuff just to stay connected to some friends and family back home. But for the most part, I've chosen to get off of social media for the month. For me, I think it's just a way of, staying present, staying in the moment, staying focused on, what we're trying to accomplish in this month as a team. Obviously, everybody's very different with what they feel comfortable with, what they want to use and to do. So I think it'll be an individual decision based on different players.
I love Instagram, so I feel like I can't really give that up. It kind of helps me to decompress a little bit, to like just look at like unrealistic things like travel, like beautiful things that kind of get my mind off of what's actually happening. So it's a good distraction for me sometimes, so I'm not giving that up. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have Twitter up or anything, or that new Threads thing. I still don't really know how that works yet, but I need my Instagram, I think, so.
Fair.
I don't really know what TikTok is, so I don't have that.
Oh, yeah.
More questions. Go ahead.
Hey guys, Matt Cannon from Marker. I just wanted to ask, historically speaking, the US has always been number one favourite, a fair distance from the rest. In recent times, people are saying that the distance between you guys and other teams is narrowing. Why do you think that is? What do you attribute that to?
I mean, I think it's just the growth of the women's game. I think it's incredible. I think it's such a good thing. I think this is what we want. We want this. Of course, we want all women's teams to get better and better, and we want to get better and better. So I think that it's super special, and it's like such a time right now to be in women's sports and to be following women's sports. So it's a really, really good thing. We encourage it, but we obviously want to still be the best. So we're gonna keep pushing the limit, and everybody else can try and follow us.
Kev.
Baxter, LA Times. Thanks to both of you guys for doing this. You guys are both veteran travelers. You've done this a million times, but it's still a 17-hour difference. Is everybody on the team acclimated? Now, I know you've been here a week. Are you acclimated now? Is it ezy for you to do, where it doesn't really bother you anymore?
Well, this is always an early riser. I think we're pretty much fully acclimated, but you get a little bit more tired earlier, and then you wake up a little bit earlier, but it's actually been kind of nice. But I think everyone feels good right now. We're in a good mental and physical spot. The time difference was huge, but we've done it a million times, and I think everyone's being really professional with it, and we feel good.
I think it's a little bit different for everybody, and sometimes easier to look at it more of like a 5-hour time difference rather than the 17-hour or whatever, based on like what side of the country you're on. But I think, and I do think coming this direction is a little bit easier than I remember even in January coming here, being able to adapt relatively quickly. Again, I don't mind going to bed early and waking up early. I have found it harder going back to the States for some reason, just that direction. But we've got incredible resources. Our staff has done great to take care of us, to set us up with different, tools and modalities and education on how to do that. And again, it's taking ownership and things over your own body, what you need. And I think everyone's doing a great job with it.
Well said. Who's next? Right there. Go ahead.
Kalika Mehta, DW. You just spoke just now about, you still want to stay at the top. You still want to keep on getting better. Obviously, even with the gap lessening, you're always a team to beat. There is always that pressure. So can you just speak a tiny bit about how the team deal with it as a whole, that pressure of the expectation that you will just win every game?
Yeah, I think it's always tough being at the top because everyone's kind of chasing you, and everyone will give you their best game. But there's no other place you'd rather be. You want to be at the top. You want to be the best team. So I think it's definitely hard at times, but I think that this team historically has handled it so well, and they've continuously been so consistent with it. So I think that this tournament, we're just going to take one game at a time and continue to play the soccer that we know how to play. And we'll see.
Yeah, and I think Julie Foudy put out something the other day about, pressure being a privilege and something that's earned. And I think, this team, starting in 1985, the first team.
Yep.
I think they set the standard, way back then. And each year, in each World Cup, we have had the opportunity to kind of build on what the groundwork has been set before us. And now that's something that, previous generations of players have started that, and it's now our responsibility to continue that mindset and that mentality of the U.S. Women's National Team.
Can we get the mic to Meg up here?
Hey, Meg Linehan, The Athletic. Just this first chunk of the tournament, obviously there's training, but there's also media obligations like this. There's picture day. There's all that kind of stuff. Is that a helpful thing to get you into a tournament mindset? Is it just something that you have to get through? Is it a distraction? How do you approach things like that right now?
I'll be interested to know this answer.
I think it makes it more real, for sure. I think, this is incredible even to sit in a room like this and have so many reporters and, cameras, and it's not usually my favorite thing to do, but I can admit that the growth of what we've gotten to is incredible, and it's good for us, it's good for the game, it's good for women's soccer in general, and I think it just makes it real. We're excited, and we hope we can feel the excitement growing around us. Yes, it's an obligation, yes, it's something that we have to do, but I think it's you know, it's part of the game. It's part of what these tournaments are, and it makes it different. It makes it more of a tournament rather than just any other game. And, you know, I think we are embracing that and ready for it. You're going to get obviously different players have different feelings towards it. But I think, you know, it's great to be able to sit in a room and have the energy and excitement building.
Do we have one more? Right there, one more. From the dais.
Hi, Amy Pickering, Stats Perform. Can I just ask you both about Megan Rapinoe? She's obviously said this is going to be her last tournament. Just how important is she to the squad?
Aw. I keep telling P, I'm like, go another cycle, P. Come on, like we need you another cycle. Like, but she's just, I mean, she just embodies the team. Honestly, she's just like, she's such a presence. Like that's the way I would describe her. Is she's just like such a presence on this team. She brings so much on the field. She brings so much off the field, and she's just like, you feel weird when she's not around. Like she's just has that presence that you crave, that you want on the field and that you want off the field. So she's impacted this team. I mean, incredible amounts. Like she is unbelievable. And I think that, it's really sad that this will be her last, but, I think she has impacted this team immensely, and she's such a special person and a special player, and I think that her legacy will live on for a long time.
Yeah, I think just to echo that, she's a special person, special player on this team, and her impact is felt, I think, far deeper than just on this team. And I think the thing that's special about her is she kind of takes on such a role, and because she is such a big presence. You know, she's willing to do a lot of the extra. She'll do a lot more of the interviews, a lot more of the media. She'll take on the hard questions, the difficult things that then allows other people to not have to have that be a stressful thing or not have to be a factor, and she lets them be them. And I think she has attacked everything, you know, as unapologetically herself, and allows others to do the same and to be who they are as well. And you know, what she's done for, you know, this team, just the experience that she brings, the energy that she brings, you know, it's invaluable inside the squad today.